Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? Um, I don't know. I think I've probably done a reading for you before, but I'd like to remind you real quick, this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you're going to have to stretch it outside the box a little bit. And if something doesn't make sense now, just keep it in mind because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. Go, I know what he's talking about. So, oh, they always make my head itch. I always look like I got heebie-jeebies. So we're going to talk to Scott today. He comes in he's very, standing up very tall, very straight. Well, now he's slumping down. I don't know why he did that. It's his show. He can do whatever he wants within reason. He's doing it again. So I don't know if he used to tell somebody to sit up straight or somebody used to tell him to sit up straight. So I don't, or maybe he's telling you to sit up straight. Maybe not physically, but perk up. I'm getting that feeling of perk up. Just pick yourself up. Okay, so he's walking back and forth behind me, and he's taking his fingers, and am I doing it too fast? He's marching his fingers like across my back, and then across the back of my head. Now it made me itch. And across the back of my head, and he's doing this both ways, back and forth, back and forth. So you should feel, and we don't have fingers anymore, so it may not feel like fingers. It may just feel like, could feel like a bug crawl across you, or something tickling, or you could feel a warmth, or everybody feels the energy different. So I don't know for sure how you're going to feel it. But he's walking his fingers across your back and the back of your head, back of my head. So you should be feeling that in some way. When you feel that, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. If you want more, it's your free will choice. Or you can tell him to stop it. Darn it, my throat's starting to get scratchy. That's totally up to you. It's your choice. Okay, so he's back. He's still back behind me, and he leans down. He's got his head like down here, and he grabs both shoulders, and he kind of gives this little squeeze, like you should feel that too. So do it again. He's got the hands over here, so you could feel a little pressure or warmth or tingling, or it might it will stuttering. It will feel pretty slight, probably. It could be strong. I've had them when I was laying on the couch and I was hysterical over somebody that passed, and bawling and screaming and carrying on like an idiot. And I literally felt boom. So it can be strong. And I looked around, thought, the hell was that? They were telling me to knock it off. But it's usually not that strong. So he says, I love you. He, I couldn't be any more proud of you. I love you. You need to let shit go, and you need to let shit fall into place like it's going to, like it's supposed to. Oh, he says the word divine timing. They don't usually use that word. It's one of my cards. Like when I read cards, I hate divine timing card. It means it'll happen when it's supposed to. It'll happen in divine timing. It'll happen in the right order. Blah, blah, blah. To me, it means be patient. It'll get here when it's supposed to get here. And I am not a patient person. That's why I don't like the card, because I'm not patient. He said everything had to play out in a certain order. And if in years from now, when you look back, you'll understand. It's making me itch. You'll understand the order and why it had to happen the way that it's happening. And he's talking about family. Things needed to happen that way. They had their lessons to learn. You had your lessons to learn. It would have been a different dynamic if everybody had been together. And that's not the way it was supposed to happen. He says that's not the way it needed to happen. And he bends down and gives me a kiss. This is the right side of my head, because some of these videos make me look backwards. It doesn't have to be the right side of your head, but could be. Sometimes it's exact what they show, sometimes it's general. And so you should, like, I can feel when something touches my spiky hair, or feel that pressure. You could feel a warmth. Sometimes when they're really trying to get my attention, it feels like pins sticking me. It's like, hey, that's a little strong there, buddy. It should feel like warmth that you might eat. Well, I just want to go, woo, like one of those chills, that'll be his energy. It's not really a chill, it's the energy. So now when you get that feeling or you get that chill, that's him. Again, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him. Ask him to bring you more if you want more. He keeps pulling we've been camping, so I started a grocery list of some different stuff. And I've got hash browns and garlic bread written there, so I'm not sure which. I feel like it's the hash browns. I don't know if he liked hash browns. You love hash browns. You just made hash browns. You just bought hash browns. But he keeps pulling my eyes to that. So, but I feel more it's like the hash browns, and it could be the garlic bread, because they're both right there together. And now he's showing like he's cooking. Looks like he's cooking hash browns. So he must have liked to cook hash browns. If not, he's validating that you just cooked some, or you were getting ready to cook some hash browns. Not sure where he's going with this. It's his show. He can do whatever he wants within reason. He mentions cartoons and puzzles. And he's talking about the puzzles like you put together, like jigsaw puzzle. So I don't know if he used to sit there and do that with you, watch cartoons. Maybe you guys put puzzles together. Maybe you just did this. He's showing Roadrunner, beep beep. Roadrunner, beep beep. He says he loved the Roadrunner. And you could have just watched it. Well, I don't even know if they're even showing Roadrunner anymore. Is he politically correct? He drops anvils on people's heads. Don't get me started. He says he does know how much much he meant to you and your siblings. He's talking about a male. Don't know if you have a male sibling. And he's going like this. Oops, that's not a very good one, was it? Was that one in the military? Is there one that was in the military, or was Scott in the military? He's saluting him. Very proud of him. He's showing me somebody marching. He's saluting again. I see the American flag. Somebody was in the military that he's saluting. Whether it's him himself or a male sibling. Or you have a male sibling, sorry. He says, I want you to know that I'm still watching out for you. And he goes, I want you to know that that didn't stop when I stopped breathing. I want you to know that. And he's saying it over and over and over. I want you to know this. I'm going to try to get this point across. I want you to know I'm still there. I can still help in different ways. I want you to know. He just keeps saying that. So, right. I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, don't ask Uncle Joe for financial help down here because he didn't understand how it worked. But what was Scott good at? What would Scott be good at helping you with? What would he understand how it worked down here? How the pieces go together? Ask him for help with that. You have to ask, and then you have to allow for all of a sudden somebody will call you. Let's just say it's a job. And I'm not saying that's it, but let's just say it's a job, and you don't know what job to get or whatever, and all of a sudden somebody calls you, go, hey, there's an opening at my company. You want to come join? Or you meet somebody in the grocery store and they go, hey, I work at this place. I really love it. You might enjoy it. It really works that way. They can put help nudge these people and put them in your path for whatever it is that you want to do. And you have to ask. They cannot override your free will choice. I will tell you 1,000%. He can hear you. He can see you. Talk to him all you want to. You just may not hear him back. But ask, because my guides sit up there and watch me do dumb shit. And then they go, Rhonda, that's not what we brought you. And I go, well, I don't want to do that. It's my free will choice. They can't make me. They try hard. He's saying, just tell me you love me. Just tell me you love me. Just tell me you love me. Even though I already know it. Don't be mad at me. He says, actually, don't be mad at them. And I think he's talking about other family members. It is what it is. It was what it was. Let it go. Leave that in the past, because it is in the past. He said something about hair of the dog, but that's usually like when you've been drinking all night and you take another drink in the morning, have hair of the dog. That's what I think of when I hear it anyway. I'm not sure what he means by that. He says you're a beautiful person inside and out. Let your freaky flag fly. Almost couldn't say it. Let your freak flag fly. And he's laughing hysterically. He goes, I don't mean you're really freaky, but if there's something different you want to do, let that, and you think somebody would think you were a freak, or it would be freaky, and that may not even be the right word. Somebody might go, what the hell is wrong with you that you want to take tap dancing lessons? Or it could be something as simple as that. Let your freak flag fly. My grandson got mad at me for coming out of Culver's one day and dancing across the parking lot. He goes, Grandma, really? And I said, Do you think I give a shit what those people back there think, looking out the window? I don't care. They probably wish they were doing it. Let your freak flag fly. I like that. I need a sign like that to put behind me. No, not that I don't have enough junk now. Don't, he says, don't worry about other people's opinion. Go do it and ask him for help, and he will help nudge the appropriate people, open the appropriate doors. Then you have the option to say yes or no. He's being kind of adamant about it. You're beautiful. So don't worry about everybody else's opinion. And I preach that all the time. So I love to hear it from them. He says, no, I was not in pain when I left. He says, you need to know that. I always use the example, and I have no idea how he passed because they used to show me exactly how they passed, and I would feel it and see it, and then I would bawl after every session. So I've asked him not to do that anymore. So I always use the example. Let's say you're going to be in a head-on collision. Your soul, your spirit actually lifts out of your body. You hear people talk about near-death experiences, and they look down and they go, ooh, I see myself down there in the ambulance and all that stuff. That's really true. It gives your soul, your spirit less trauma. You know, your body stays here. So that all stays here. So as far as really being in pain, no. Not. This is just our vehicle to walk around in down here that our soul is in. Our little car to drive while we're on Earth. He said, actually, he was not. It's hard to explain. And people who have a lingering illness or something, towards the end anyway, they kind of sometimes halfway and sometimes all the way kind of step out, or sometimes they'll step in and out of the body, and they avoid a lot of the trauma of the pain that ends when the body ends. It is hard to explain. So what do you want to do with your life? He says, let me help you. And then he says, let me count the ways. And he's got a daisy, and he's like, she loves me not type of thing. Only he's saying, which thing do you want to pick? What do you want to do with your life? How are you going to do it? Be you. Pick what makes your heart sing, not what somebody else says you need to do. You're listening to their judgment. Somebody's influencing you to not do something that makes your heart sing. And that's what he's saying. And now I get the same thing from somebody in my family. I can't do that because they're going to say something. He says, stop doing that. Ask me for help. He's holding up what looks, and I just got some today. Like a stick like you would hold over the campfire. And it looks like it has a s'more. I can't even talk. S'more on it. And I can see the cracker, I can see the chocolate, I can see the marshmallow, and it's all on the stick. Like he's, instead of roasting the marshmallow and slapping it together, he's got it all on a stick. So I don't know if somebody's done this or he's acknowledging maybe you just did s'mores or you're going to. And I don't think he's talking about my camping, even though I just got the sticks for the fire. Okay, he's showing me, well, first it looked like a yellow lily, and now it looks like a yellow tulip. And now he's showing them both side by side. So he's talking about both flowers. Not sure why. Maybe you took one to him recently, or you have some in your yard. He's not explaining. They don't always explain. He's trying to validate himself. He's trying to let you know for sure that it's him. He was doing this earlier. In the picture, I noticed he had a mustache and stuff, but he's showing like he has a little bit of a handlebar mustache, and he's twirling end of it, like spinning it, like it's not one of those great big ass handlebar mustaches that you have to wax, but it's kind of got an end to it that so I don't know if he always messed with his mustache, or maybe he did have a little bit longer one on the ends when he was younger. Yeah, because I always ask them to at least validate themselves at least a couple times. He's talking about hobo. What did he say? Hobo. Hobo bun? Hobo bun. He's saying hobo bun. Some kind of a sandwich maybe called a hobo. Something to eat called a hobo. Hobo bread, hobo bun, hobo sandwich, hobo something. And I think I was just looking at something. So maybe you make a sandwich like that, or you've been someplace where they have a sandwich, or maybe you call a sandwich that. I'm not sure what he's referring to. He is literally coming over and putting a halo on your head. And you could actually feel him touch the top of your head. You might feel your hair tickle or something. He's putting a gold halo on top of your head. He thinks you're an angel. He wants you to know that you're an angel. He said you were a bright spot in his life. Even on his bad days, you were a bright spot in his life. He says, I love you very much. Even now. Love never dies. And I will tell you, love is the highest form of energy there is. And that's what we strive for. Up there, and we're supposed to do it here. He said it doesn't die. Quantum physics. Energy doesn't die. Okay, he's showing himself in a kitchen, and I'm assuming it's your kitchen. And he's opening cabinets. It's like he's looking for something. He's looking for something. It reminds me of when my dad used to go to his sister's house. The first thing he did was walk in and open the fridge and open the cabinets. And then my cousin told me after my dad died, the reason he did that was to see if they had enough food in the house. He always made it look like he was hungry. Hey, you got anything to eat? But what he was doing was making sure they had enough. So that was his excuse. So watch for the cabinet doors in your kitchen that could just come ajar, or you could leave one open and it could shut. Sometimes when I'm sitting here, and this is my dining room, my office dining room, and I can hear my refrigerator door shut, but there's nobody home but me and the dogs and a cat. So, and I know my refrigerator door isn't actually shutting because I know it wasn't open, but I can hear it. I can hear it shut. So you might just hear the cabinet opener shut. You might have a squeaky cabinet. I don't know. Something about him opening cabinets, opening cabinets. So again, if that happens, make sure you validate him. Let him know that you know that's him. I ask my peeps not to do freaky, scary stuff. Well, there's a couple of them that are ornery. They do it on purpose. Somebody's birthday's coming up or just passed. I feel like it's coming up. He's acknowledging that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? He's talking about the birthday, so I don't know if it's your birthday or somebody, maybe you have to have kids and it's their birthday or something. You are a special person and you need to look at yourself that way. He says things look so different up here, and we feel different about them up here than we did here. It's like, cars might have been important to him. I'm just saying that. He's not saying that. But up there, that shit doesn't matter. Those material things don't matter. So things look so different to him up there. He says, you need to learn to appreciate yourself more. Because all that material shit won't matter later. Appreciate you. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate the feet that you have to walk down the road. Appreciate your hands. Appreciate your eyes. Appreciate your hair that you can do anything with that you want to in your own way. He says, appreciate your elbows. He's right. Appreciate your booty. I love it. I've never heard any of them say that before. Not booty, but we don't appreciate what we already have. We always go, well, but I want that, but I want that. I don't have that. And that's what he's getting at. Appreciate that you can see and hear and feel and talk and have something to watch this on and have a roof over your head. That's kind of where but he's going through all the parts of your body. That's pretty cool. That is cool. See, we do have a different perspective because the chair I'm sitting on doesn't matter to them up there. It might have been important to me when I bought it. So he's trying to change your perspective. Instead of waiting till you get up there like he is, he's trying to change your perspective down here. And you think I would have learned that by now. Amazon's my best friend. They just came to my door again because I'm buying shit. And that's not what's important. What's important is, he's telling me, what's important, he's going to make me cry, is sending my friend, when I get off of here, a message because she's going through some doctor stuff right now and she's important to me. He says that's what's important. So he says everybody, and he's not just talking about you, he's talking about a lot of people need to shift your perspective. He's like being like an old wise sage teacher. Shift your perspective. What's really important? Is that Amazon guy that just dropped shit off at my house really important, or are my feet important, my arms important, my eyes important? I have a friend who can't see. What's important? That you have, that you already have, and it's free. He says basics. Basics. You can breathe. Basics. You can hear. He's getting serious. He's wanting you to shift your perspective now and carry that through your life. Be grateful for what you have, especially the free shit, he says. An airplane just flew over kind of low. So it's cloudy out there. I can't see it. But he's saluting again. It didn't sound like one of the big bombers that from 30 miles up north that fly over sometimes. Sound like just a regular airplane. So I don't know why he's saluting. Know that I love you. Know that I am still here for you. Appreciate your life. We all take it for granted. It's been very solemn, very serious. Love the ones you're with. And don't worry about the rest. It will all fall into place. In divine timing. Here we go again. Here we go again with that word. With that, I'm going to leave. I love you. I respect you. I think highly of you. And I want you to do the same for yourself. And fuck the rest of them. Be good to yourself before everybody else. If they're not good to you, then do it for yourself. So I'm not sure who they are that he's talking about. He's not being specific. And I don't know that he means a specific person. I feel like it's more general. It could be family, but I feel like it's kind of general. Like he says, I can kick him in the butt. And I will swear, my Bob, one time I was standing there talking to his brother, and I could see Bob standing behind him. And I said, so I'd like to see you kick him in the butt, just for the hell of it. And I will swear on my life, airplane's coming back too, swear on my life that I saw his brother turn around and kind of go, so he can kick him in the butt. A little bit. Anyway. He says with those serious thoughts, he got really serious and solemn. This is something he really wants for you in your life, though. So with those thoughts, I'm going to leave you with those thoughts for now. We'll work on it later. So asking for help with that. He's very adamant about this. He's very serious about this. So ask him to help you with that. And then you have to allow for whatever comes your way. Or you can say no, like I do. Like I always dumb me do. And he just drew my eyes over to on my wall in my living room. I had the vinyl stickers that my granddaughter got me for Christmas one year. It says, I love you to the moon and back. So he loves you to the moon and back. He says, and even beyond it. Because that's where I am. And yet he's not. They're not really up there flying around. They're actually right here. He's right here. With that, he's leaving. Be kind to yourself. Don't take their shit personal, whoever they are. Much love to you, my dear. He's leaving. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. I liked his messages. So ask him for help. I promise you he can help you. And if he can't, he'll find somebody who can. That's just the way it works in my world. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.